folks, welcome in to another episode of Force Takeaways. I'm your host, Tony Ballgame. Joining me as always is Jake the Snake, live from Arizona and Chicago, respectively.
Hi.
Beautiful state of Chicago. Hello. How are things? How are you feeling?
I love living in Arizona, especially in the springtime. Yesterday, it was 77 degrees. And like a little overcast, but still some sun. It was beautiful, but you couldn't go outside because of the air quality. So it was like a perfect day, but like the air was going to kill you, which is like the perfect metaphor for Arizona.
The perfect day to look out the window.
I have discovered that Arizona exists. So, like, guys from the East Coast that are stupid, that are too stupid to be on the radio in the East Coast, which like that bar is
Really low
in
bar.
the cellar. They come out here to get paid to talk football. God created Arizona so his dumbest Italians could get jobs talking about football,
God bless him.
and just completely ignore things like facts and you know events that occurred in reality. They're not burdened by the truth to report football out here, and I think that is very freeing.
Well, we'll get into the bad Cardinals takes a little bit later. I want to start things off though with a little hoops talk, slightly.
Let's talk hoops.
My beloved Denver Nuggets they went out sad. I think they probably had the most embarrassing first round exit of any team, and that's really saying something considering the way that how the Magic went out, considering how the Celtics went out, the way the Trailblazers went out. I think the Nuggets got punked. There's really no way around it. I mean, I talked a lot of shit at the beginning of the series, not necessarily on this show, but just in my life and to some of my friends. I very confidently was saying Nuggets in 6. I was like, my thing was, I know the Timberwolves are a tough matchup, but I just think Jokic kind of owns Gobert. And boy, was I wrong! Rudy Gobert played incredible in that series. He absolutely ate Jokic's lunch. The thing about Gobert is that, there's a lot of individual, just singular highlights of him getting like quote unquote owned, like him getting dunked on or him getting whatever. But you play it out over the course of a 7-game series or over the course of a season, and he's there's a reason he's a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, he played defense on Jokic really well throughout the whole series, and really the whole Timberwolves team played great defense against the Nuggets, and they got punked. They just got their pants pulled down in front of everyone, and it was really embarrassing. Jaden McDaniels called out the entire Nuggets team by name, like individually said all their names and said, Jamal Murray's a bad defender, Tim Hardaway's a bad defender, Jokic is a bad defender. And he was right. They are bad defenders, and they got embarrassed. And when Jaden McDaniels hit basically game-clinching, series-clinching 3, a deep 3, right in Jamal Murray's face, to put them up 8 or whatever, late in the game, in game 6, I turned the TV off and went to bed. I famously rage quit all the time. I rage quit the Broncos Giants game. I rage quit a lot of the Broncos comebacks last season. I'm just ashamed to admit, but that was a time where I was vindicated in my rage quitting. It sucks, and Nuggets universe, Nuggets country, Nuggets world is in shambles right now. They don't know. The reports are coming out that per Shania, who is, not everything he says is the God's honest truth. It's just what the front offices want him to say. But what they're putting out there is the head coach is safe, Jokic is safe, and that's it. Jamal Murray on the block, Aaron Gordon on the block, and it's sad. And
wait,
people
so
are go ahead.
Anthony, are they only going to fire the New Balance guys? That's
New
fucked
Balance,
up. I like New Balance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. New Balance has had a real resurgence. They used to just be lawn mowing shoes for dads, and now they're cool. But they've taken the image. Jamal, they don't even put Jamal Murray in the New Balance commercials anymore. That's how far his stock has fallen.
Well, it's because they have Cooper Flag, and so they're trying to get the white hate demographic.
Well, they have Shohei in there too, so I'm not sure, but I don't know what that's about. But
I mean, look who loves Shohei. Dodger fans. What are Dodger fans? Mostly rich white people. And then like the people that built the
Yeah,
stadium, the families that built
screen
the stadium had their homes torn down. The
screenwriters.
generations of families that lost their, generational homes to build Dodger Stadium.
Well,
Um,
it's sad. I think this era of Nuggets basketball is over, and it's going to be really hard to rebuild a championship team around Jokic with the way the CBA is. The way the CBA works in the NBA, it's really hard to acquire talent when you're like a quote unquote good team through trades and stuff. It's pretty. That's what and this only throws fuel on the fire that is the tanking problem in the NBA, and it's because that's kind of the only way to get good players is through the draft, and that's why so many teams are so overtly tanking right now, is because it's just hard. You can't just make a big signing anymore, especially if you're a small market team. Or maybe not. I know Denver's not like tiny market, but basically, if you're not like New York, LA, if you're not a sexy place to go, it's hard to get talent, and the Nuggets don't have a lot of their draft picks right now. And Jamal Murray, guys like Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon's trade value isn't exactly peak at this point in their careers, based on what happened last season. And Aaron Gordon can't really stay healthy. Jamal Murray finally made his first All-Star season, and it feels like a monkey's paw wish. I've been wishing for years. I was like, Jamal Murray, it deserves to be an All-Star. He is an All-Star caliber player. He played awesome in the regular season. He had basically his best season as a pro, or his best season since his big injury. And now it's all for nothing. He wastes. I don't want to say it's a waste, but it just sucks. And he is a bad defender. So is Jokic. And Jokic and I don't know. Just this summer is going to be hard. Being an online Nuggets fan is I'm sort of God's strongest soldier right now, because he is taking a lot of heat, and he kind of deserves it. He did not play very well in the series overall. And the thing about Jokic's defending, skills as a defender is, it's like he's so good on offense. He's like otherworldly, like all-time level on offense, that you're kind of like, I don't really give a shit if he's bad on defense, but
yeah.
sometimes he's so bad that it's like, I can't tell you how many times I've been watching a Nuggets game and been like, dude, you're fucking 7 feet tall and built like a house. Just get in the way. Contest a shot a little bit.
Yeah. Use your
It's
big,
like
broad body.
he's really
You're
afraid of getting
Slovenian
fouled, and he just doesn't. Some every once in a while he'll have a nice little. He has really good hands, obviously. He's good at getting steals and deflections, and he's good at poking the ball out at critical times sometimes. But over the course of a 7-game series, he's just not a good defender, dude. It sucks, and I
Are you
don't.
saying that Jokic is soft? Do you think
I
he's
don't know.
getting soft?
No, I don't think he's soft. I mean, he's tough. Like he takes a lot of abuse on the court for sure. I don't think anyone that thinks he's soft is, I don't know, just a troll or a hater. I'm not accusing him of being soft whatsoever. I just think he half-asses it on defense a lot, especially in crunch time or in crucial moments, which really pisses me off. And I was pissed at him. I was ripping him in the group chats after games like 2 and 3 and 4, really. Games 2 through 4, and for most of game 6, he was hot. He was simmering dog shit. He was like boiling hot fucking dog shit in a lot of those games. And so was Christian Brown. The smoke's coming for him too. He was bad. I mean, he was bad through a whole series. Last season, he was like the best transition player in the NBA, where he was like, they get out on a fast break, Jokic heaves the ball down there, and it's a basket. If you give it to Christian Brown in transition, it was a guaranteed bucket every time. And something happened this season where it's like, I feel like after a bad playoff loss like this, everyone's looking for a goat, everyone's looking for a scapegoat, and it feels like most Nuggets fans have landed on either Jokic or Christian Brown, and part of it is his contract. They gave Christian Brown a big ass contract, and he's making all this money, and it's a what do you even do here type situation, because he's not that good of a defender. He's not really a shot creator. He's not really a ball handler. He's not really a playmaker. And his one thing that he did pretty good, which is finishing under the rim in transition, he wasn't that good at that. So it's kind of like, what is this guy making all this money for? And now his trade value is low as fuck too. So it's like, what are you even gonna get for these guys? It's scary. It's a little scary to be a Nuggets fan right now because Jokic has maybe 2 to 3 years of like MVP level play left in his body. And with his like with his like slow fat kid style of playing, I think he could play until he's 40 if he wanted to. But could he play like elite level until he's 40? Probably not. I think elite level top 3 MVP voting Jokic we've got about 2 seasons left of that. 3 max.
Yeah, I'd say 3. He's just turned 30.
Do you? It's easy to sit here and say like, well, just surround him with a bunch of athletic shooters that can defend. It's like, okay, great. Those don't really grow on trees. Like, we can't all be the Thunder. The Thunder have existed in this. Their timeline is lined up so perfectly. When it's like the Thunder are a small market. They I think are the smallest market in the NBA. Maybe Memphis is smaller, and not a desirable place for free agents to go. So they had to build through the draft and acquire all these draft picks, and they were bad for a few years after the KD, Harden, Russ era, and now they have 5 bazillion draft picks. They got all of these like dog ass like defenders and just like motor guys, and they're sitting pretty. Like, they're gonna the Thunder and SGA are gonna fucking run the league for the next couple of years until someone figures it out, or they could run out of gas. But the timeline is the planets have aligned for them, and it's a copycat league. Everyone is like, well, let's just be the Thunder. Let's just get a bunch of crazy defender, athletic guys around them, and the Wolves too. The team that the Nuggets beat. That's the irony is the GM of the Wolves was the GM of the Nuggets, and it's a popular fan theory that he basically built the Nuggets and then went to the Wolves and built the perfect Nuggets stopper, and he did. They have all these long, lanky, athletic defenders, and included with Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert. And it's like the perfect formula for beating a team like the Nuggets. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for them. This is the biggest offseason in possibly Nuggets history, and probably in my lifetime. I don't know what to expect. I'm glad we got one title out of it. I'll never forget, I was standing right outside of Ball Arena when they won their title. I fell to my knees and wept like a little baby because it was so beautiful. And I cherish those memories. That was an amazing night. Me and my friend, we stayed out all night, walking the streets of Denver. People were setting off fireworks. There was like people playing music in the middle of the street, climbing light poles and shit. Like, it's amazing. If you've never experienced like a championship win in the city that wins the championship, it was a once in a lifetime feeling. And I don't take it for granted for one bit, because it might be the only time it ever fucking happens in my pathetic Chungus life of being a Nuggets fan. But it was a beautiful thing, and I guess that's all I have to say. Go Nuggets. That's all I have to say about that.
Go Nuggets.
At least we have the Avs. Meanwhile, the other team in town, the Avalanche, they swept the Los Angeles Kings in the first round. And they're 2-0 on the Minnesota Wild. They haven't lost the playoffs yet. It was a little iffy in that game 1 against the Wild. They ended up winning 9-6, which is a fucking insane score for a hockey game. And the Wild are really good. And I knew I was not underestimating them one bit, like I was underestimating Minnesota Timberwolves. I did not underestimate the Minnesota Wild. They're a very good team. And I did not think we were going to go 2-0 up on them. And if they can win one in St. Paul on Saturday and go up 3-0, it's going to start to look like this might be one of the most dominant runs by any team ever. I think the Colorado Avalanche are the best team in professional sports right now. Like, the most complete, dominant, deep talent. Like, I'm talking better than the Dodgers, better than the Chiefs, Eagles, the Thunder. I think the Colorado Avalanche are like one of the most dominant teams they have the chance right now to go on one of the most dominant championship runs of any team in like the 21st century. So looking forward to that.
So yeah, they're up 2-0 on the Wild. That game the other night where they ended up scoring 9 goals was insanely cool.
I was yelling so much. I woke Mary up, which I never do. She's a deep sleeper and had the door closed. That was an exciting game. That was one of the most like. And the funny thing was that night there was 2 games that night. The game before I also watched. It was a game 7 between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens, and the Montreal won in Tampa 2-1 with 9 shots on goal. The entire game they took 9 shots. The Avs had 9 shots in the first fucking 7 minutes of the first period, and the game ended 9-6. It's just hockey's a hell of a sport. It's a really weird, unpredictable sport. That's why, as much as betting has taken over everything in the sports world, they still have it there's not a lot of hockey betting influencers because it's just so hard to bet on. It's such a weird topsy-turvy sport. You can just have especially in the playoffs, you can just get a hot goalie and just go on a crazy run, or have one guy just go one weird depth guy go fucking nuts in a series. And it's playoff. There's really nothing like playoff hockey. Even if it's a team you don't care about, it's just a crazy thing to watch, especially a game 7 like that.
It's fun. I watched
Lightning one.
I watched the Avalanche game yesterday when I was running at the gym.
Yeah, that was game 2 was
they're a fun team.
Game 2 was more of what I thought the series would be. It was very physical. There was a lot of hits. The Avs were. There was a period there in Avs history where the Avs were kind of they were considered kind of like a finesse team, and they didn't really have a lot of physical, hard hitting guys on the team, and now they're throwing their bodies all over the ice and smashing the fuck out of guys, including Quinn Hughes, that little bug-eyed, mop-headed fuckface. I hate him. He's sort of considered but Quinn Hughes for the Wild and Cale Makar for the Avalanche are kind of considered the top 2 defensemen in the league. You take your pick of who you like more. Quinn Hughes is American.
I don't like this Quinn Hughes guys either.
Makar's Canadian. I think Quinn Hughes kind of looks like on the Looney Tunes when they would do a caricature of Peter Lorre, the little yes, that guy. I think he kind of looks like that, but with Gen Z hair.
Yeah, he kind of looks like if Baker Mayfield had Fragile X syndrome.
His history is that he was drafted by the Vancouver Canucks, and he's pretty much the best player the Vancouver Canucks have ever had in their pathetic history, and he was really good for them. And then he just kind of gave up on the team. When the team wasn't very good, and he was the captain and the leader of the team, he just kind of gave up. He didn't care about being a leader or being positive. He's kind of, I don't like it. I haven't liked him since he played for Vancouver. I think he's kind of a pushover and sort of an empty-headed, just kind of dope who doesn't really care about anything except him just getting his little points and his little stats. Now he's on a team where he doesn't have to be the best player on the ice anymore. I think Kirill Kaprizov is the number 1 guy for Minnesota. So he doesn't have to be the face of the franchise anymore, which takes some pressure off of him. But I think he's still just kind of a wimp and a sort of a puss bag. And Nathan MacKinnon rocked his shit. He fucking destroyed him right near the end of the game, smashed him into the ice, and it was awesome. That got me out of my seat. And yeah, go Avs. Avs in 4.
Fuck yeah, go Avs. That's what I gotta say, and I'm saying it. I hope that they win for you. I do want to say a couple notes on what you said. I understand your frustration, and it feels inexcusable when you have a 3-time MVP on a team laden with so much talent, and they're out in the first round. That does suck. And Jamal Murray got paid. All these guys got paid. So they should be showing up in the playoffs because that's what you're paying them for, right? But I think nothing is more embarrassing than what the Boston Celtics are going through.
Yeah.
This week. seven
Yeah,
game
we got to talk about the
series.
Jaylen Brown stuff.
Yeah. As losing a 7 game series to the Sixers is rough, especially because the Sixers are like a year or two ahead of schedule with their rebuild. Um, I don't know. They just like kind of like went on a roll. Um, like a month before the playoffs, and like they're still hot. I think I did text you this the other day. I think the way Tyrese Maxey balled out and like just the way he hooped in that the first round, like he is so close to becoming like a superstar. And
Oh yeah.
if they somehow like rebound and collect themselves after that absolutely demoralizing loss on Monday, um, and can win, if they win one more series this year, I think Maxey is like, if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, Maxey needs to be considered like a genuine superstar, bona fide superstar. Like multiple games where he had double digit rebounds and 30 points. Like he took control. That's what a scorer and a distributor like a prime young guard has to do. Edgecombe is also getting like he's looking more and more comfortable in the playoffs. It's so impressive. Paul George, like being a catch and shoot dude, just like posting on the wing. It's like so dangerous for this team because you
Oh
have
yeah.
like so many guys that can score from anywhere. So like you have to pull off Paul George, and if he's hot, like the other night, like he was hitting everything. Like that was a really fun series. That was a really fun team, and like I think it's less about the Celtics imploding and more about like the Sixers just playing out of their minds. And like Embiid comes and like he has the appendectomy, and then it's playing like it's 4 years ago. Like his body isn't failing him, and that's cool to see. And I know Embiid is a very polarizing player, and there have been times where you have certainly hated him, but I love
Oh,
him.
I've
I
I've
I think he's great.
I've definitely gotten my licks in on Embiid over the years, but I got to admit he exhibited some real toughness in this series, and he has exhibited toughness throughout his career, but especially in this series. I mean, he was. Was it true that he was like literally getting treated while he was standing at the free throw line at one point? Like,
Yeah, they came out and like helped him stretch out his leg.
I don't want
He had to
to.
get stretched out on the court, like, and it sucks that his body has failed him because, like, when he was in his prime, like a big man winning the MVP is so sick, especially in this era. And like his personality is so good for basketball. Like it's so good for the game if you want to be
He's a
one of those
troll.
guys. Exactly, but like he's fun and he's good humored and good natured too. Like yeah, he's a troll, but like he's a fun dude.
He's a fun
He's like this
troll.
generation Shaq. Like he's just like a big man with a big mouth, and like I don't know. There are so many of those guys when I was a kid, and like that's what I used to love about the game. And like, I don't know. I feel like people take themselves far too seriously now. It sucks. And he just has fun with it and talks his shit and then goes out and plays. But like, I don't know. That's a really fun team. Um, but New York looks very good. I think Carl Anthony Towns is like, I don't know. In my head, he's just like the soft young guy, and he's not that anymore. He's kind of like a hardened vet, and like
Oh yeah.
he was physically dominating Embiid a little bit. And like the fact that he can shoot too is like it's so unfair. Um, the Knicks look very fucking good, but the Celtics, man, like they lose Jason Tatum again, and then Jalen Brown is like getting ahead of himself, being like, "Well, it's not fair because we don't have Jason Tatum." And then he's like not getting, he's like doing that fucking thing where he's like cool. It's cool to play like hard and aggressive, like physical basketball. But like when you're stiff arming guys and like throwing them every time you're driving the lane, that's so fucking obnoxious.
We haven't even
And
mentioned
then
that the Celtics blew a 3-1 lead.
yes,
Can
they
we
blew a 3-1
we
lead. It
need
was
to put that on the billboard? Like,
they like blew a 3-1 lead because like the Sixers won some big games in Boston. At the TD Garden. I don't know if it's still the TD Garden. These things change corporate sponsorships like twice a year now, but
the crypto garden.
At the Crypto Nest,
At
they blew a huge
at the
lead.
Claude Garden.
Oh God,
The Chat
um,
GPT dome.
Chat GPT Arena. Um, and but just to like the amount of like crying and complaining and like and just passing blame that Jalen Brown is doing is humiliating. And like even like Celtics fans are kind of like, shut the fuck up,
Yeah,
dude.
Celtics fans are over him. I
He's
think
going on like
most of them
streams
are.
saying like he's like, oh yeah, well, like, they're floppers. And it's like, dude, you were stiff arming guys. Like you were fouling so hard. And then they started to call it and you had a meltdown.
He got fined. He got fined $50,000 for that, and honestly, that seems a little low for me. Like
He's being such a
considering
baby, and every day he's complaining more and more, and he just won't go away about it. And it's like,
and
dog,
he's
you lost to the Sixers in the first round. You blew a lead. You're very good. You're a very good Kyrie Irving, but you're not LeBron in this situation. Um, you guys aren't shit without Tatum, and like it sucks that like, oh, you make the argument like the Sixers would have lost that series, in Game 7 if Tatum was back. And it's like that's cool, but if like Tatum can't stay healthy and like play those games, like that's kind of part of the requirement of being an elite athlete is staying healthy and taking like yeah, people injuries occur and that sucks, but also like taking care of your body and resting so these things don't happen. That's part of being like a dominant star now, and that's just the way the
yeah.
game is.
It
It
was
goes
just
back to
unfortunate.
Halliburton last year. Like, yeah, like look, the Pacers were on track to like win the finals and they were playing so well, but like if Halliburton, if he can't stay healthy and play a 7 game series in the finals and other people can, that you can argue are less talented than him. I'm sorry that he's just not made for it. He's not fit for it. He doesn't have the body for it. And
I
like
don't know if
that's a part of being a superstar.
I don't
Like
know
you
if
got to
I'd go
stay
that
healthy.
far.
I'm going
I
that
would
far. Fuck,
I
fuck Tyrese Halliburton. And now they're not even in the playoffs, and he's like 40 pounds overweight, and he's going to come back and be out of shape next year.
Oh,
And like he
I
had
think he'll play himself into shape. And I also think that
no way. He's done, dude. He's cooked.
these these injuries now at this point in like we're getting to a point in like human development and like sports medicine that it's like I really truly think we're like pushing what the human body can do to its absolute limit. Like it's really hard. And both in the case of both Halliburton and Jason Tatum, they were like coming back from a previous injury and playing on an injured already thing. And it's just tough because it's like you want players to play. Like you don't want
Yeah.
to do like load management in the playoffs or whatever. Like if he's healthy
No.
enough to play, you got to put him out there. And if they get re-injured, it's just that's an unlucky roll of the dice. And it's with Tatum, that sucks. It was a miracle to me. It's really impressive that he came back at all of this season. I thought he was going to be the way he went out last year. I thought he was going to miss all of the entire season and the
Same.
playoffs. I'm shocked that
And
he came back,
maybe he should have
hats off to him for
because
doing that. But it's just
he
unfortunate
couldn't
the way it
finish.
turned out.
He couldn't finish one series in the playoffs, so he rushed it, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to listen to your body and not put yourself in those situations. And if you have like a damage prone body, that just sucks. That is a shitty luck of the draw. Look at Joe Burrow. He could
Yeah.
have been great, but he's
Look at
hurt
Joel
all the
Embiid.
time. Joel Embiid, yes, exactly. Like it sucks. It is what it is. But then like, crying
That
foul and saying, "Oh, what if," is like the lamest fucking thing you can do as an
yeah,
adult person.
the
It's like say, "What if,
continued
what if?" Oh, I got a bad luck of the draw. Like, just shut the fuck up. It didn't work out for you. I'm sorry, but like, look around you, and you have a pretty nice life. Like things are, yeah. Like I understand you want to be like you're a professional athlete, so you have to be wired to want to win all the time. And like it sucks when you don't, but like just shut up and go enjoy your life and then like focus on basketball like
the days
in a
long
month.
social media. This is multiple days that his social media crash out has been going on with Jalen Brown. It's so
I know
embarrassing. And
it's
apparently he
pathetic,
does
dude.
this. Apparently this is a thing he does where he goes and breaks down, quote unquote, breaks down film on Twitch. But I don't really think that's fully what he was doing. You
He
watch
was
some of the
just
clips and listen to some of the stuff he was saying.
he was
It's loser
lamenting.
talk. It's pathetic. And the
It's
people,
so pathetic.
what is up with his little crew that he's with? Did you see the picture of the guys he's with? It's like
Yeah, the weird like
someone on Twitter was like, the vibe is basketball January 6th.
seriously,
It's
dude.
really weird. That's Boston for you
It
though.
it looked like if the Suicide Boys had both had diabetes, they were hanging out with them.
But I don't. The Celtics fans thing is so weird because it's like Massachusetts is such a liberal state. Like I think they're the only state that went completely blue in 2024. But
But it
and
also
yet
has some of the
and
country's most
yeah,
violent
but
racists.
they also have especially Boston sports fans have this reputation of being like virulent racists. But I don't understand how that really squares out. But whatever. And then So he does the Twitch thing. Everyone makes fun of him for being a whiny baby, and it's like, and then the next day, I think yesterday, he was like, clickbait is just flopping for the media, and it's like, dude, it's not clickbait if it's just actually just people posting what you actually said. That's not like mislead. Clickbait implies that it's kind of like misleading or something, or if someone was like, Jaylen Brown says the Civil Rights Act should be revoked or whatever, like that's not what's occurring here. It was just people posting 30-second long clips of things you really said and did, and then you're being like, that's clickbait. You could say it's clip farming, but that's not what you said. And he's doubling down on it. Now he's been fined, and it's like, dude, it just makes me, for all the bad stuff that happened with the Nuggets in this postseason, I'm so glad Jokic doesn't have social media. Thank God.
Yeah, man. Like, think about that. Like you said it yourself. Like, you touched on like the smaller market team. Like, this is not only a big market team, but also one of like the important franchises in like the history of the NBA. So there's so many more eyes on this. Like, that is like, this guy's just showing his whole ass and spreading the cheeks, and we're not just getting a look at the hole. We're going up the tube. You know what I'm saying? That's how much of his ass he's showing. We're doing a colonoscopy.
You can see the like. It's like you can see like the redness of like the inside of his actual colon.
You can see. But I do think it's his pink, fleshy asshole. We're seeing the what's it called? What's that tract where the defecation excretes from?
Defecation, no breathing.
No breathing.
We're
getting all up in Jaylen Brown's ass because he's showing the whole thing.
I think obviously it's very fun to make fun of him for this, and it's pathetic. But I do think it's a big problem for the NBA that someone as prominent as Jaylen Brown, for as prominent of a team like the Celtics, is out there publicly, basically saying the games are like rigged, or that he's saying stuff like, this ref has it out against me or whatever. Like, that's a big problem for the NBA, and this is not going away. And again, this all ties into like gambling being so prominent in sports, and especially in the NBA. It waters down the sanctity of the game. And I don't want to sound like a Puritan. I don't mean to sound like some like think about the children type of Maud Flanders type of shit, but like, stuff like this erodes people's trust in sports in general. When you have players out there being like, it's a combination of this Jaylen Brown thing, the Chauncey Billups gambling scandal, like all of this stuff just erodes public trust in these institutions to where they just don't like your average like Joe on the street or whatever is just like, whatever, it's all fixed, it's all a scandal, it's fixed. They just think it's a fixed thing, and I think it's really unfortunate. And this is a problem the NBA has created for itself, and that Adam Silver has created for itself. When you invite these insidious fucking gambling vampires into your sport, this is the result you gonna get, because that's what it's. I don't know. It's like working as it was intended to work. Is just completely eroding public trust in this institution. And the sanctity of the sport, in my opinion. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get fucking worse. Imagine like when the Lakers eventually get, they're going to get massacred by the Thunder. Sorry, but especially if they don't have Luka. Even if they have Luka, I don't think they have that much of a chance. What's going to happen when someone like LeBron or Luka or JJ Redick is talking about like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's a flopper and he's bought and paid for by the refs or whatever? Like, what's going to happen when that happens? Like, it's bad. I think the NBA has kind of a problem, and this Jaylen Brown thing is only just a symptom of the problem, and not like a cause of it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I just look, like I said, I think it's embarrassing to act that way, and I think it would be better if he just didn't, and that
just shut up.
You lose. Just go to Cancun, dude. Like they say, just go. Just shut up. Steph Curry is enjoying several vacations right now. Why can't you just shut up and do the same thing?
The other embarrassing thing that came out of this,
you got a ring. Like, you thought this shit would be over. Like, quit being such a baby. And like,
did you see when he was like this? After all that, he said this was my favorite season to play in. This is my favorite
Yeah,
season I've had, and everyone,
and then
including Celtics fans, are like, not the okay. So the season where you won a title and were named Finals MVP, where's that rank? This is the one where you were blew a 3-1 lead and got bounced in the first round to like an injury ravaged team, not injury ravaged, but like a lower seed. You blew a 3-1 lead to a lower seed in the first round when the star player was out and you had a green light to shoot whatever you wanted and you got shot like 30% from three. That's it. Who else is implicated in this is Joe Mazzulla. I think Celtics fans are getting a little sick of Mazzulla ball. His whole like,
yeah,
I'm like a steely-eyed little weirdo shtick is getting pretty fucking old for me.
yeah, bring back the guy that can't stop having sex with other people's wives.
Can the Celtics just have a normal coach, please?
I mean, they kind of had that, and then it worked out for them, but then it wasn't good enough.
Well, now he's a GM.
Yeah, well, the president of basketball operations or whatever they call it.
His title is, yeah.
Yeah, what happened to that coach that was having sex with everyone?
He's the coach of the Rockets now, who also got bounced in the first round.
Yeah, and I guess Kevin Durant's causing a big stink there too. Apparently, all the players in the Rockets hate Kevin Durant, which is funny. He's like this old weird guy who doesn't talk to us.
Legacies are being formed in just this first round of the playoffs. Like people are starting to talk about Kevin Durant as just like a mercenary. It's just like all he wants to do is just go to a team, get his money,
get 30 a night,
get 25 points a game, and you can fuck off for the rest of it. I really don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit, and like it's not like I don't give a shit in like a Kobe way. It's like because Kobe gave too much of a shit. It's just like just an astoundingly insular and selfish, weird little creep, and we're starting to see it. Like he's been this way his whole life, but like it's just magnified now, and like one of the more important players of like an entire generation of the game that it just so many people dislike. And he's like 37. He can't stop going on Twitter and like making fake accounts and like arguing with people. And like, then he turns around and says, well, yeah, you're just a loser who's poor. And it's like, okay, man, like you have some serious mental health issues. Like they're getting worse because you keep getting money.
I just saw that. This is just breaking news here. You here on Forced Takeaways. Embiid is gonna be out tonight. Of course, this is coming out on Thursday morning, where everyone will already know the result of the game. But that's interesting.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't matter. I don't think. I think the Knicks like roll. This is gonna be like a 4-0 or 4-1 win. Like Sixers might get one at home, but like they're just. The Sixers can't keep like so. The first quarter of that game was fun. It's like all right, this is gonna be like an exciting, like, another 7-round knockout, like heavyweight matchup, like the old guys say about these series. But like, I just don't think that the Sixers are going to be able to keep up with the way the Knicks score, and it's just going to get out of hand. I like did the tongue-in-cheek post saying Sixers and 6 because I was excited. I'm not even like a Sixers fan. I have a Sixers hat because I like Philly sports, but like
I was just gonna say I'm liking your renewed interest in the Sixers and Flyers.
It's fun. Well, I mean, yeah, like I'm doing the Philly bandwagon thing where it's like obviously I'm an Eagles lifer. Like I'll watch every game of their worst seasons, but like I don't ever really tap into other sports like team wise like that. I just like to watch the playoffs. But these teams have been fun, and I don't know. The Flyers are doing the same thing. The Sixers and the Flyers might be like, oh, hey, look, they both had fun first rounds. They're ahead of schedule. And like at the end of their respective rounds they're currently in, it's going to be like, yeah, in a year or two, like in 2 years, maybe the Sixers make an Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, the Flyers, I want to say the Flyers, not to diminish of what they did, but I think they benefited a little bit from the really stupid and fucked up playoff, like, the way they order the playoffs in the NHL. It's not just 1 through 8. It's like a completely convoluted bullshit thing that involves division winners and whatever. So the Flyers got matched up with another sort of quote unquote bad team, but the Penguins like really did not belong there. I don't think they had any business being in the playoffs, and the Flyers sort of took. But everyone thought they would win just because they have Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, but they didn't. And now they're playing. Again, because of the weird fucking playoff format, they're playing like the best team in the Eastern Conference in the second round.
Yeah, but I mean, if you keep them, you can't win a cup, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, you got to play who's in
Their
front of you.
momentum is also like they were like on a fucking tear. Um, in January, they were dead in the water. Like midway through January to the playoffs, like they were just on a fucking tear. And I think they're just cooling off. I think it's just like you see stretches like this in hockey, you see stretches like this in baseball and in basketball sometimes too. Um, but they're just fucking. I think they're just getting cold. They're not getting enough shots. Um, we'll see
Yeah,
how it goes, but it doesn't feel good.
they had a lead. They had a lead on the road and pushed it to OT against Carolina, and that's saying something. And I got to say, I'm not like a hater, or I don't really have anything necessarily against like the Hurricanes like as like a franchise or anything, but I find them really annoying because they're always like they're kind of like the darling of like NHL media. They're always like this sort of like hipster pick where they're like
The
they're really
Flyers
good. Like they always no
or
the
not
Hurricanes.
the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes.
They always get the Hurricanes, the Canes. They get a good. They're always like the past 3 or 4 years. They're like a high seed. The like analytics love them. Everyone all like the money puck moneypuck.com is like a highly regarded like advanced stats website in the hockey sort of world online.
Of course it is. Of course that's
And
the high money puck.
they always have like this really high chance, like throughout the whole season, all the playoffs, it's like they always have this really high chance to win the cup or to make the final. And I'm always just like, sorry to be the vibes guy, but I'm just not buying it. They just have the Carolina Hurricanes have maybe the least amount of juice of any good pro sports team. Like you can't make me buy into that. Like I don't give a fuck about the Carolina Hurricanes. They have this like really defensive, boring fucking style of play. They're basically like if the LA Kings were like sort of good. It's
That
boring to
reference is so
watch.
lost on
They
me.
have no juice. They have I don't have you I've never met a single Carolina Hurricanes fan in my life. They're not a popular team. I'm they're I'm just I don't want to hear about it anymore. I would love for the Flyers to upset them in this second round here.
Well,
Because
unfortunately, I don't think it's going to
we
happen.
get put in the same tier as the Avs, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. Get out of here with that shit.
It's been fun because I have a Flyers tattoo, and like I'm not even like really a hockey fan, and like people in public have been like, "Oh, Flyers." I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're heating up." I don't know. See ya.
See ya.
But either way, I will say this though: I do like and respect the Knicks, which is like shitty to say as like a Philly sports guy. And I've always loved their colors and their jerseys. So earlier
Mm,
this year, I bought a pair of Knicks like basketball shorts,
nice.
um, just to lounge around in, you know. So I will say, if it's a Knicks Thunder finals, if that ends up happening, you know, the two teams with the great color schemes, the blue and
Great
the
jersey
orange,
matchup, yeah.
um, I will be getting a championship shirt. I've not really been watching the Thunder games. I watched like half of it, and it's like, yeah, look at like they're like even though that game was a little bit closer in the first half, like you could just tell like the pace at which the Thunder can score and the depth of players they have that can score from anywhere on the court, just the way that they're built. Yeah, it's just like Sam Presti is like one of the greatest GMs in 21st century sports and the way he's
For
built his
real.
team. It's like,
Hate to admit
and
it.
like, look, when I was living there, that was the reputation too. Like he's been the GM since I lived there. And it was always like, no, he's a magician, he's a genius, just watch what he does. And like it's true. He's built two championship caliber rosters in the life of his um like contract of his career. And like this one's actually winning and they might win a few. They might win at least a couple. That's kind of how it's looking. Like we're looking like the best team right now. Although I will say a Western Conference Spurs Thunder finals, if that went like 6 or 7 games, that would be fun as fuck. Although I detest the Spurs and I always will.
Really?
Um,
I know.
yeah, I just because when I was I hate Texas sports, right? You can't get me
Yeah.
excited about Texas sports. I'm not going to do that. Just being a dumb hick from Oklahoma, but also like I remember the Spurs were always so good, but they were so boring. Like even after like Tim Duncan was a little older and they had like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili and like old Robert Horry like hitting those shots. I remember Robert Horry getting the moniker Big Shot Bob. After that buzzer beater against the Lakers. Like I was watching that live on the kitchen TV as a kid. Like vivid memory of seeing that. They were always just so boring to me the way they played. So I just don't like
I
them.
wouldn't.
I don't,
Well,
I don't care
I
for
have
them.
a couple things about the Spurs and Thunder, respectively, in those two playoff series. Is that I don't know how it's going to work with Luka out and Austin Reeves playing really poorly in Game 1. He had like one of the worst like
He got hurt too for a
field
second.
goal percentages in like a Lakers playoff game ever. But take into account how many shots he took. But like JJ Redick is capable of making like a really good. He's capable of making a really good defensive game plan on like a game-to-game basis and getting the players to buy into it. Like I've seen it happen, especially against the Nuggets. They had a regular season game early in the season, I believe, against the Nuggets where they just absolutely shut them down at every turn. Now, granted, the Nuggets are not the Thunder. The Nuggets have a little more quit in them than the Thunder, I hate to admit, but I could see the Lakers like having one highly dominant game where they kind of they win like 96-91 or something. But yeah, I don't think they have a prayer in that series, even if Luka was fully healthy, frankly. And then as far as the Spurs Wolves series, my official prediction, and I'll say it right here on air right now, is Wolves in 7.
Okay, I like that. I would love a Wolves Thunder series.
You don't want to underestimate. Yeah, I would love a Wolves Thunder series. You don't
Because
want
then
to
if the Thunder
underestimate.
spank the Wolves, you'll be like happy about the Thunder for once.
Oh,
And I can call you and talk to you about it.
I would be very conflicted in that moment, but
just do it for me, man. Come on.
I will.
I've done nothing wrong to you.
No, you have nothing with you. And our good friend Ian, who is a big Wolves fan, I've been trying to talk him up by saying, and this is I truly believe this, the Spurs don't really have like a late game clutch offense to me. And while I was watching Game 1, I was looking at the clutch stats, which is for our audience. When a game has 5 minutes or less left in the game, and within 5 points, that's considered clutch time.
Okay.
And I was looking at the team clutch stats post All-Star break, so like more recent, not playoffs. Just and I know regular season and playoffs are totally different, but I think I had a hunt in the Spurs games that I watched, especially the ones against the Nuggets. I was just like, what do they? Because they had a lot of blow. They didn't have a ton of clutch games because they were beating everyone's ass for most of the season. Like they had like 20, 30-point wins all over the place. So they weren't necessarily have a lot of experience in clutch time in the first place. And when they did get it, it's like, what do they do? I know Julian, that Champagne guy, he's a really good 3-point shooter, and he missed what would have been the game-winning shot in Game 1. It was really close. But like besides that, like what is Wemby's like go-to move? Like he doesn't really have like one like Jokic has the sombra shuffle. Like Anthony Edwards has driving to the rim. SGA has driving to the rim, or like mid-range. Like he's a killer for mid-range. What is Wemby's like move on offense? Like, obviously, he's an insane defender. Like he had fucking 12 blocks in the game. But the the Wolves played it great. They just kept going at it. It was like, we don't care. We don't care that you're 10 feet tall and you have 12 blocks in this game. They even said, they had great comments after the game. They were like, we're not backing down from it. We're gonna make him like go ahead and block every shot. We don't care if he has 20 blocks in the game. A block isn't the end of the possession. A block isn't a point. You block us, whatever. We have a block makes it a 50-50 ball, and we think our guys can get it, and try again. And Anthony Edwards, man.
I can see that backfiring, though.
Another guy I've talked a lot of shit about over the years, he was not afraid of Wemby at all. And sometimes he got blocked, sometimes it didn't work, but and yeah, you're right. You're right. It might not work over the course of a series, but you gotta respect the attempt. And I just even though they're a lower seed, I trust the Timberwolves with their playoff experience and with that coach. Chris Finch is a really good game plan coach in the playoffs. And that Spurs coach, he's really young. He kind of looks like Elon Musk. I don't 100% trust him. Not to say that he's shitty or he should get fired or whatever, but it's just like he doesn't have. Yeah. He's a Greg Popovich student, so he's
Mitch Johnson.
They
Oh,
picked
he
him.
does look like Elon. He looks like if Elon Musk had a little melanin.
He's got. I mean, Elon Musk is African. I'll have you know, sir.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, but his parents are both Caucasian. They're both
Right,
white.
right. Yeah, they're Dutch or whatever. Boers. But
Yeah,
I
he is
just don't, and I'm not to say that the Spurs
African
are like
American.
frauds or that they suck or whatever. Like, obviously they're a great team. They're the 2 seed. Wemby's a generational defender. But like, this kind of feels like a few seasons ago when the Thunder lost in the second round of the Mavericks, where it was like, yeah, the Thunder were like they were the hot new thing on the scene, but they didn't quite have it yet. And the Mavericks had more. They had Dallas, Luka, and it was just too much for them to handle. I think that's what and that's why I'm sticking with Wolves in 7, which would
Wolves
set
in
up
7. What's the
a
series at right
Thunder.
now?
It's just 1-0. It just game 1 was the other day, and the Wolves won. That game was like watching a heavyweight title bout. It was like just two guys throwing haymakers at each other. It was like a UFC fight. Like it was just like bam, bam, bam. Like it felt like there were 1,000 lead changes, and it came down to the last shot. The Spurs could have won if Julian Champagny made that 3-point shot, and it was a great look. He was open. It was like rimmed out. It's gonna be a tough series. I'm not saying the Wolves are gonna like dominate them or anything. And I'm not trying to take away anything from the Spurs or say that they suck or whatever, but there's just there's the je ne sais quoi of playoff experience that makes me just slightly lean Minnesota there.
I can't watch home games, Spurs home games when they have that disgusting throw up floor. And I know they're like San Antonio colors or whatever, but it just looks like somebody ate a bunch of paint and threw up because paint doesn't digest in your stomach.
Yeah.
I think it's bad, and I can't wait until they're eliminated, and then San Antonio just goes back to being the place that Ozzy peed in, and just a little blip on the radar. And honestly, fuck San Antonio and fuck Texas. It's just a dog shit place full of just really pathetic, small-minded, small people who think that they have a greater effect on the world around them than they really do, and they're pathetic little ants.
I personally am a fan of the color scheme on the jerseys. I'll caveat by saying I like the Southwestern color scheme with like the topaz and the orange with like the way that they've combined it with the silver and black. I think the Spurs jerseys and color scheme is cool as fuck. I know you don't want to hear that, but again, the caveat is the way they did the court and the shirts. Yeah, it's a little tacky for me. And I don't want to show my ass here with the whole shirt giveaway discourse. I feel like people are completely blown it out of proportion. Where it's like it reminds me of that Seinfeld episode. Remember where they're doing the marathon for AIDS awareness or something, and Jerry doesn't put on the ribbon, and that guy's like, "Why don't you wear the ribbon? You must put on the ribbon." That's how people are acting with the stupid fucking playoff shirts. They're like, "You gotta put it on. You don't want to put on the shirts." It's like they're ugly, they're cheap. You're either gonna throw them away or just wear it as like a garage shirt or like a bullshit shirt in your home. Like it's not a cool fashion shirt. It's just something. It's a one-off thing. It's a waste of resources. And I know this makes me a huge lameoid and a boomer, but I think it's cooler when everyone like the Spurs have they have a really cool color scheme. I think it's cooler when you can see everyone in the audience wearing like all the different eras of jerseys and shirts and hats and stuff. I think that's way cooler than fucking and now that they have Wemby, it's like, you know, they refer to him as the alien because he's so weird looking and such a unique prospect player archetype that now you see people wearing like alien stuff and having like little alien toys and alien costumes. Like that's cool to me. When everyone's wearing like the like orange and pink and topaz blue like shirts, like it looks like college. It's like, to me it's like amateur. It's just lame. I think it's just lame. Towels are fine. You want to give away towels and everyone waving towels? I'm okay with that. But
Towels are cooler.
The shirts is like whatever, dude. I think it looks dumb.
I don't dislike the shirt thing.
I more dislike people getting all mad about it. Like the Nuggets certain teams don't do it, and they're like people getting all mad. What more bothers me is the conversation around it and everyone acting like it's like like it's the most important thing in the fucking world, what they do with the playoff shirts. It's like, who gives? I really don't give it that much of a fuck. I think it's boring. Sorry, that's my little soapbox.
I think it's okay. I think they should give out hats.
Now we're talking.
They should
Now
they
we're
should
fucking talking.
they should give out like those oversized hats that I saw the guy cry in.
Yeah, the big.
Yeah, the big hat and the guy at the Cardinals game was crying.
Those are
wearing it.
expensive, though. I don't think
They're
owners
like
would be willing to
$100.
shell those out.
I mean, they cost that much. How much do they really cost to make though, right? Like
Probably
the profit
50
margins
cents.
on those
Yeah.
are probably like 300%. It's like I've had to like order promotional products for like big corporations before and like be involved in that process. And like it really is like a t-shirt costs like 30 cents. It gets ridiculous. The amount of money that the profit margins on dumb shit like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a good NBA playoffs so far. I'm excited.
It has. NBA and
There's
NHL. It's been a
there's
fire
great
playoff so
basketball
far.
on every
More to
night,
come.
and I love it. And I fucking love it. I'm gonna get really into the College World Series this year too. I think.
Oh.
That seems like the most racist sport is college baseball.
Yeah, like if you're like what if I am talking to someone and they say like, oh, I'm like a diehard like LSU Tigers baseball fan,
South
I'm
Carolina
like,
Gamecocks.
like there's a big
baseball.
alarm going off in my head.
Yeah, it's like oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This guy has committed a hate crime.
Like they're the type of racist where they're like don't even like Trump anymore because he's not far right enough.
He's not racist enough, yeah. And they're those are just actual like Nazis with like the weird cross tattoos.
Like they think Stephen Miller is like a liberal pussy.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on in the NFL. If you want to touch on that before we put a condom on this thing and wrap up.
Yeah, I know you have some stuff. You have some Cardinals and some Titans and some Diego Pavia stuff. We want to get to before we toodle.
Oh yeah, and I want to start with Abdul Carter.
Right.
He reported to OTAs very skinny. I sent a picture of him to you, and I believe your reaction was, "Oh my god, he looks like a DB."
Yeah, he looks like a secondary guy.
Yeah, he's clearly lost like 30, 40 pounds.
Crazy. And he was like, I mean, I remember in my head he's kind of like a beefy guy, and it's one thing to be like, oh, this guy didn't work out in the offseason, but it's another thing to be like, has this guy atrophied? Did he get like food poisoning or something? Like what's going on with him?
So my initial worry was like, okay, people are like dragging this guy, but it's going to turn out he has some kind of cancer, because that's how like stark the weight loss is. It's shocking.
It's a little crazy.
And so if people are just shitting on him and it comes out like, no, he's fighting through leukemia or something like, or bowel cancer, like, yeah, that sucks. But yeah, he's lost a lot of weight, and I know that there are well documented instances of him last year not showing up to meetings, showing up late to practices, not participating, not doing the lifts and stuff because he's a rookie and was in college and like usually had everything structured for him, like that's what people would point to. But also it's like the Giants are just the Giants get this pass about being like the most businesslike and professional and courteous and polite, like we're an honorable franchise like from a PR standpoint, but it seems like I can't come up with that many NFL franchises that would just let their top 4 draft pick not show up to meetings and work out. Like there wasn't anyone enacting any kind of discipline or structure there. It was just
wasn't a big part of that. I remember reading about this while it was going, because it would be like right before the game, it'd be like Abdul Carter, DNP or whatever. And a big part of it was Brian Daboll. Wasn't that the thing? Was that he was kind of like a vibes guy and was like letting him get away with all this shit because he just thought he was like a dog or whatever. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, he's too much of a player's coach where he's like, come on, like this guy, he's special. Just he can roll out of bed and rush to the passer. What's the problem? And it's like, well, no, like, well, now that you're going against like the greatest football players in the world every week, you can't just do that because
There's
even
a
like
balance with that. Like you want to give your star players a little bit of leniency, but it felt like it went a little too much with that. He wasn't a star
exactly,
yet. He's a freaking rookie. So yeah.
and even like the worst tackle, if a guy's not trying or just like doesn't put the work in, even the worst tackle working his ass off has a shot against like, an
A
a
trade stack.
wannabe elite pass rusher, right? Like preparation beats everything in football, and that's just the truth. You cannot skate by on your talent. That's a career ender, and we've seen it so many times. But yeah, he's way underweight. It's weird. I hope he's not sick and he's just a lazy piece of shit. Um, and I don't know. I have a conspiracy theory in my head that he grew up in Jersey. He was a huge Eagles fan his whole life, so I think he's just trying to sabotage it so he can go to the Eagles, which would be the funniest thing. That would be after like Saquon Barkley left the Giants and then like has a historic season and wins the Super Bowl with the Eagles the very next year. That's like the best thing that could happen. But like if Abdul Carter leaves the Giants and plays for the Eagles and then has like 15 or 16 sacks his first year, that would just be, oh, man, it would be glorious. I just
I
can't
mean,
even.
the
It's just
Giants
making me smile.
would never do a trade with Philadelphia, right? You have to
Probably
get
not.
cut.
Not for Abdul Carter. No, he'd have to get cut, and like they
I-
just have to
I-
get sick of him. But they
That's what
drafted
makes it
Arvell
bad.
Reese, and people were like, "Why did they draft Arvell Reese?" And now like Abdul Carter's showing up to workouts underweight. Doesn't appear that he's been doing his diet or keeping up because like you have to keep that mass on you. It's not normal to be as big as a football player is, right? Like one of my best friends growing up is the guy that played center at OU and played in the league for a few years. And like the second he quit playing, he lost like 5 months later. He was like skinny as fuck because you have to actively work to put that weight on you. That's not natural to be that big and that strong. So like it does seem kind of like an effort thing, like a want to issue, but also like they have Arvell Reese. So is Arvell Reese going to push him? Is Arvell Reese going to like be like, hey, no, we got to go get
Gonna
this
jump
lift in? Is he going to feel like inclined to like compete with this guy who could come in and take his job? Because they have a lot of depth there. They have a lot of talent like on that D line. It's not just the Abdul Carter show. So we'll see. But this seems like I just wanted to say this, put a pin in this because the Giants have been having a good offseason, but I'm not worried about them yet. I don't think they're there. I think they're like they're like a really hard out 6-7 win team. They have a really good O line. And if their O line stays healthy, that's why Jackson Dart was so good. Is they have such a good O line. They have a great run blocking O line. Jackson Dart's going to be featured in this run game a lot, even though it's Matt Nagy. But Greg Roman is there as like a senior offensive assistant, and he's had a lot of success designing QB run games for Lamar Jackson. And Jackson Dart is no Lamar Jackson, but that is a white boy with wheels if I've ever seen one. And they need to like they need to have some. He needs to get like 5 like touches running the ball per game, like draws or RPOs or whatever, or like option plays. But we'll see. Just something to keep an eye on is like the Giants as a whole and Abdul Carter. They have been doing well on paper this offseason, but congratulations, you can win the draft and then you're picking number 2 again, number 3 next year. Look at the Cardinals. They won the draft last year with the Browns, and then they were both picking. The Browns would have been picking top 10 had they not have traded their pick to the Jags, right?
I wonder how much of that you're going to see, like how bad tanking will get, especially in the second half of the season for the NFL. With there's like, if you've got a team that's like kind of spicy, not good, not gonna make the playoffs, but it's like they're kind of fun, and then you start seeing some like phantom injuries pop up in like week 10,
second
11
half
because they're
seasons.
trying to,
The Saints, the second half of last season, when Shuck started to kind of really settle in, they were a tough out. They were an untalented team that were a tough out. And the way they've worked themselves out of that salary cap hell has been really impressive, honestly.
They have God on
Like
their side.
I thought they were fucked. I mean, yeah. Remember they had a priest in their draft room.
Yeah.
And
See, everyone was like, I was a little shocked at how people were like, why would they do that? And it's like, A, they're called the Saints. The name of the team is the Saints. B, do we not remember the big controversy like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago about them like literally helping the Catholic Church avoid sexual assault charges? They're like giving them PR advice. Like it's Hello.
And funding, the owner is like funding campaigns like to help like cover up pedo priests. Like they know this shit happens and they cover it up.
Yeah.
Welcome to this country. I don't know what to tell you. But speaking of like spicy teams and young quarterbacks and such, Carson Beck is the talk of the town in Glendale and Phoenix right now. Surprise, surprise. But there's like this big argument out here. People are getting on the radio. It's like our dumbest radio guys, and then like PHNX cards, which are just like two of the dumber guys in sports media, I think. Bo is out this week, and the other guy, who's like the main host, starts every like podcast by yelling like "What?" like like it's a morning sports radio show, and like just has the cadence of like East Coast drive time sports radio guy, and it's nauseating to me. Um, but the conversation here is, was Carson Beck going to play? Because we have Jacoby Brissett, but he's not under contract and he wants more money because he's the de facto starter, but they don't want to pay him starter money. So he's like kind of holding out. And like Malik Willis turned down the Cardinals, but that was literally just over money. Like they're having a hard time finding a quarterback, but they're not really even trying. Like they lowballed Malik Willis. Now they're lowballing Jacoby Brissett, and people are like, well, is Carson Beck going to play? And it's like, of course Carson Beck is going to play this year. He was your third round pick. He's 24 going on 25. He played 6 years of college football. He has 60 plus starts, high level starts too for big programs. He's been to 3 national championships, was on 2 of the winning teams. He was taking a Georgia team on a playoff run when he hurt his elbow. I remember watching the game when he fucked his elbow up. It's the same injury Brock Purdy had, and his arm came back strong again. So we'll see that strength in his arm this year, I believe. Like he doesn't have a weak arm. That is a misconception, but he's going to be a 25-year-old quarterback with high-end experience who throws the ball in timing really, really well and makes really good reads. And like he has the kind of like that cerebral field general. Like he can ID a defense. He can like tell when they're disguising a blitz. Like he's really great pre-snap, and he can audible out of things or into different looks to exploit a coverage he knows he's going to see. Like he's very smart. He's a very smart quarterback. He's not like one of these traitsy, toolsy guys, but he's going to drop back. He's comfortable under center. He can throw. He can hit like tight. Like he's not a dog shit quarterback, even though this wasn't the best quarterback draft. We're absolutely going to see him play. I think we'll absolutely see Gardner Minshew play at some point too, just the way things go for this team. But that's the point. And like people are missing like the entire point here is that you cannot look at this team being run like a team. This is a team that is run like a business. And there is this hyped up draft class in 2027 with some marquee players that even if they're not good, if Arch Manning can be a huge bust, but if you get him on your team, if you get him in State Farm Stadium, that is going to excite a fan base to have a potential generational talent, a face of the franchise quarterback that you're going to see season ticket numbers skyrocket. That's why they drafted Jeremiah Love this year, to get the fans excited. It was a very good pick in the sense of how the Cardinals run this team, because it excites the players and he's the best player in the draft. It was a good football pick too, like for this draft. Like you're getting a guy who's going to get 20, 25 touches a game, who can score every time he has the ball in his hands. Like he's that amazing. But back to Carson Beck, like I don't think he's going to be the quarterback you can ride to a top 4, top 5 pick the way that they're expecting. Because to me, and I know this is very cynical, but you have to understand that this is probably the most cynical team in the NFL, because everything that is done gets Michael Bidwell's approval. That's why Monty Ossenford has kept his job for so long, because he does what Bidwell says. His job is necessarily not to be the GM of this team and build a winning team. It's to appease the boss man. He's very good at appeasing the boss man. So getting back to my point, though, I think Carson Beck is he has an opportunity if he stays healthy, and like if the structure around him stays healthy, right? If his O-line and his weapons stay healthy, he can move the ball. He can pick up first downs. Like he can lead drives. And now you have an elite running back with a good run blocking line, you potentially have a top 10 line this year. There are a couple unknowns. You're probably going to start a rookie. But the left side of your line is fucking elite. And if they stay healthy, it's going to be very good. From the center to the left tackle, that is a good fucking group. Now, if they can all play together in unison, they're going to be a top 10 line. Just watch. If they stay healthy and if they play together harmoniously, it's going to be a beautiful thing to see. And there's going to be this beautiful run game behind it because there's also going to be depth behind Jeremiah Love. They're going to be able to change it up a little bit, change the pace. But Carson Beck is the kind of guy that can manage a game, but also make tough throws and can keep a drive alive. So, like, you could be a spicy 6, 7, 8 win team that's a hard out, and you're not picking top 5 because I don't think Carson Beck is going to be
whole fucking playoff shit up in like week 16,
like
the Niners or Rams.
Yep. They're going to be like that team you don't want to see at the end of the year. And it's like, oh, fuck, like this is a hard stretch. And then we have to go to Arizona to play the Cardinals, who are hard out. That's a very possible reality for them. They've been in this like 4-year rebuild and things are like going slow, but they're clicking and they have a lot of depth and talent on their D-line and in their secondary too. Like Will Johnson is, if he stays healthy, he's undersized, but he's a very good lockdown corner. That defense last year was awesome because when you got inside the 20-yard line, their defensive EPA skyrockets. They're a true bend don't break unit. So yeah, I think they could be a spicier team, and I think that if Carson Beck is playing a lot of games, like he's going to surprise a lot of people. And he's kind of my pick right now for this to be this year's Tanner Shuck. And the rookies report later this week to have their rookie camp, and so we'll see how he's looking when he gets the pads on and he's throwing with the guys. But I'm not saying he's going to be good. I'm not saying he's even going to get any starts. I believe he'll get starts. But it depends on what they do with Jacoby Brissett. But, like, don't be surprised if you look at the standings, like, halfway through the year and you're like, what the fuck? How'd the Cardinals beat them? And it's because, like, they have some, like, they're getting, like, too good to lose by default. They have real talent now. And when you have real talent, and you have guys that are actually trying and playing football, like you don't just fall down and lose. And if their defense plays the way it did last year, and now they have an offense that actually gives a shit and a competent play caller too, not Drew Petzig, things are going to be fun and interesting. And this is a new offensive system for guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. too. So I don't know. It's going to be fun. And Carson Beck is going to play this year for sure. He's a 65th pick. And I think he's ready. I think he's more of a plug and play guy than Fernando Mendoza, honestly. Just in the sense of he has the experience, he's done it at a high level, and he has the traits I like for the NFL better. He throws on time. He makes pre-snap reads. He has played under center. Like, I don't think it'll be shocking if, like, 5 years from now, Carson Beck has had the better career than Fernando Mendoza. I'm not going to, like, drop that scorching hot take just yet. I'm going to, like, die on that hill closer to, like, the beginning of the season, but that's something I'm working on. But yeah, man, I don't know. There's exciting shit happening out here, and people are arguing about all the wrong things, and they don't see the forest through the trees because they don't know the fucking game. And, like, I could take that. I want to, like, just record me talking about all of this guy's arguments on PNHX Cardinals and send it to All City Sports and be like, this, and this, he was wrong. And here's why he was wrong. And present my arguments and say, I'll take 60% of the salary if you give me that job. And I'll get you, 10 times or like 10% more of the amount of subscriptions he was getting because I can actually be entertaining.
Wow.
And not in a stupid guy way.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I am trying to take this guy's job, Anthony. I want his job.
Talk that shit.
One more. I wanted to talk about the Diego Pavia thing, but it doesn't fucking matter. He's not even really going to be on a roster. He's short, and that's it. And he has a bad attitude, and I think he's stupid. And the way he's going about things is he just keeps fucking himself over.
Like triple threat.
I love it. It's cool to see a guy not play the game when he's in the position to not play the game. But this guy is just screwing himself over again and again and again, and he needs to shut the fuck up. And that's all I have to say about that.
Up. I mean, the Ravens are like willing to take a shot. I don't really understand.
Dude, he's not. I don't even know if he gets an invite to camp. He was like, I have to look at his contract details, but I'm pretty sure he just got an invite to rookie camp to be an arm.
We need to check if there's like somebody on the coaching staff that is like friends with someone from Purdue or something, because to me, I mean, am I wrong or the Ravens are one of those teams where they
guy.
Oh yeah, sorry. I get Purdue
same colors
confused all the time because they're the same colors. Am I correct in thinking that the Ravens are one of those teams that likes to have their backup quarterbacks to be kind of like their starter, aka Lamar? Like they like to have a lot of their backups are like lanky, athletic running guys.
So yes and
the past few years, or that's not really.
They have had that, right? They had that guy from Penn State, that white guy that could run. I can't remember his name, and I'm not going to look it up because I don't care.
Oh yeah,
but then they've also had like Cooper Rush be he was their backup last year.
True.
And then they had the guy what's his name? The backup that went to the Pro Bowl because everyone kept opting out. But I am going to look up his name because he's a cool guy. Hold on 1 second here. His name is, of course, Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley was their backup for a while.
Yeah,
I think he still is. Yeah, he's still on their roster. Yeah, he's back on their roster. He'll be their number 2, but he's like equipped to run that offense because, similar skill set to Lamar Jackson. He's a fast dude. He's shorter, smaller. But February 3rd. Hello, my Aquarius King, fellow Aquarius King here. I don't know what that means. I just know that's how people talk online. But the other football thing I wanted to bring up is that I'm excited by the Titans defense. I love Kedrick Falk in the draft, and then they already just have so much talent on their defensive line. And then bringing in Robert Saleh, who is a defensive coach and has had has built really impressive physically dominating defenses. Like, look at the defense he helped build in San Francisco, and like just the system he was having them run. Like, man, like his coverages are so good and disguised and unique, but then he just has like so many dogs up front. And but also guys that can rush the passer, but also seal the edge and like play the run game really well. I want to look up their roster really quick. I had this up, but it went away, and I'm sorry about that. Let's see here. Accept cookies. Gotta accept them cookies, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Simmons, CJ Ravenel is really awesome. Jordan Elliott is going to be good. John Franklin Myers, Solomon Thomas, and now you're bringing in Keldrick Falk to that mix. I just think you're going to have some serious mashers. You got some real beef on the defensive line itself, not just talking linebackers. No, I'm not talking linebackers too, but just those names I just gave you. Keldrick Falk, where is Jeffrey Simmons, John Franklin Myers, Solomon Thomas, who is a good depth guy. He wasn't worth that draft pick after all, but he's back with Saleh because Saleh loves him. Who's the other guy? CJ Ravenel is awesome. They have a bunch. They got a bunch of meat up there, a bunch of 300+ pounders, and Jeffrey Simmons is like low key, like one of the best interior pass rushers in the league. But when you look at his advanced metrics, and now that he has guys around him, like they're just going to eat. They're building something exciting out there, and they also have a good quarterback, and they're building out that line and getting him some weapons. But what they're doing on that defense, and starting at the line of scrimmage, is something to be really excited about when you're a freak like me. That's all I wanted to say. Go Birds. AJ Brown had his football camp this weekend and was leading Eagles chants and songs and stuff, and told all the kids he loved them, and did this. He was very nice and polite and didn't say anything about when I'm leaving or if I want to leave. But I don't know. There was part of me that believes this Mike Vrabel thing is going to throw a wrench into his trade, especially if he was trying to orchestrate the whole thing this whole time. And maybe AJ, I think there's still a slim, I don't expect them to be back because the way they've built the roster, but I think there's a slim chance that in training camp, he reports to Bethel or to Philly, wherever they have it now. Maybe they don't travel anymore, but I don't know. That's interesting. And it's quieted down and they're trying to trade him. He's under contract. They're trying to trade him, but Howie is not going to take reduced value for him. And I'm sure they've explained that to him. Like, you're a high value player. We're not going to trade you for nothing because you're worth so much to us. So, like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But with the Patriots kind of in turmoil, I don't know. I can see that not happening anymore. Or maybe it's another team. Maybe they do trade him to the Rams, but the Rams are going to have to give up a lot. And
what about
maybe they're not going to.
Tampa Bay?
The Rams are going to have to give up
Mike
more
Evans.
if they trade him within conference. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm feeling great about the Eagles still. We saw Mekhi Lemon on the field, and like, man, he's just a dog, dude. I love him. I'm so psyched about him. He's going to be such a good locker room guy. He's wearing number 9, Nick Foles' number.
I saw that. I thought they had like a whole thing about him allowing him to do the number. That seemed nice.
He called Nick Foles because it's not technically retired, but they don't hand it out because they haven't had the ceremony yet. But Nick Foles graciously was like, yes, of course you can wear it. And he was like telling him, like, you know, I want to honor this number. Like, I want to bring great honor to it as well and carry this tradition. And Nick Foles was like, absolutely. I guess Devonta Smith came up to him and was like, hey, man, like, you're not getting 6, sorry. Because that was his college number. And, like, he was giving an interview and he's like, yeah, Devonta came up and said, there's no chance he's, like, there's no cost that he'll take for this number. And, like, he told him, like, I wasn't even going to ask. That's your number. You've made it. Like, I don't know. He's just saying all the right stuff and he's showing up early and he's doing everything that would be asked of him and more. And I'm really excited about him. I think he's going to be a great team guy, a good locker room guy. It just seems like he's already so bought in. And I know that's such a dumb football guy take, like, oh, well, he called Nick Foles and asked permission to wear that number. But, like, yeah, that's kind of what you want to see.
That stuff counts.
Like, it does. It's indicative of his true character. And that fires me up. And I'm all in on the Mekhi Lemon train. I might even get the Mekhi Lemon number 9 jersey. We'll see.
Ooh.
I don't want to be stuck with, like, a first-round receiver bust jersey. Like,
there is a small. Then it's kind of funny. Then you don't wear it for a while, and then like 3 years after it blows over,
it depends on like.
Kind of funny.
It depends on if players around him, like that we could have had, how good they are. Because like a Jalen Reagor jersey never would have been funny to me. That would have just been like, it would have been a sickness that lived in my stomach, and I would have like just given it to Goodwill. I wouldn't have even tried to sell it. And I don't even give shit to Goodwill anymore. I always find like local shelters and donate my clothes there because those aren't for-profit businesses. They actually give clothes to people that need them. But I would take that to Goodwill. Somebody would have a dumb college guy would have to pay $10 for that.
It was just a real quick note about sports stuff at thrift stores. When I lived in Madison, the thrift stores in Madison were overrun with Viking stuff of like kids from Minnesota that went to UW and like renounced their Minnesota fandom, and it would be like
that's so funny.
There'd be more Viking stuff in there than Packers stuff at thrift
like
stores.
Jim Kleinsasser jersey.
Yeah,
that'd be sick though. Ron Dane jersey. Speaking of Wisconsin, Ron Dane would be. He was like the last big boy running back. That's why I liked Mark Ingram so much because he was the last big boy that like ran that.
Broncos legend.
Ron Dane.
Yeah, I think they're pretty sure the Broncos drafted him.
I think he had like one like really good like first couple of years with them. But I remember they had Ruben Drones and Ron Dane on the roster at the same time, and they were just both like badass, like run it down your throat between the tackles, running backs, and I thought that was so sick. My first favorite football player was Jerome Bettis because my dad like turned me on to him because like I was a big kid that was fast. And he's like, you should watch. And he's like, yeah, you remind me of Jerome Bettis when you're running because you're bigger than everybody, but you're so quick. And I was like, thanks for calling me fat, Dad. But no, he was like trying to build up my confidence. And he took me and bought me a Jerome Bettis jersey. And it worked. It did build up my confidence.
Nice.
He was a good dad. But yeah, he showed me him and Natron Means. Or like the two running backs. he would compare me to, and I loved that because I loved playing running back in flag football because I was big but I was fast.
The Giants drafted Ron Dane, by the way, just to correct myself there.
Oh, the Giants. He did play with the Broncos, though.
He had one season with the Broncos where he had 53 carries for 270 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, but I think he had that really good. Didn't he have a really good Thanksgiving game against the Cowboys when he was with them? Or was that when he's? I got to look this up now that we're talking about it, and the listeners want to hear this too. Ron Dane Thanksgiving. Let's see here. Ron Dane led the Denver Broncos to 24
overtime win against the Cowboys.
Yeah, he was a backup. Yeah, seven carries for 98 yards, including a 55-yard run. Yeah, I always remember that legendary Ron because he was kind of a disappointment.
Yeah,
but he won the Heisman and was like first or second overall pick. I remember I got a football magazine with his rookie card in it, and I was like, "This is going to be worth so much money one day."
Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback for the Cowboys in that game. That's weird. Dude.
Yeah, Drew Bledsoe was truly like the Justin Justin Gilbert. No, not Justin Gilbert.
Justin Herbert.
Herbert. I'm still healing from a TBI, so like please give me grace, dear listener or listeners. Justin Herbert, he was the Justin Herbert of his time, guy with a big arm and like a lot of upside. The what if king. Yeah, hey, what if Justin Herbert pissed gold and rode to every game on a chariot that was nestled on eagle's wings? What if?
What if Justin Herbert cured cancer? I bet you wouldn't be talking shit about him then.
I'm so sick of Justin Herbert. Why can't we just like this white guy? Why can't the white guy be good? Please.
Just let people enjoy things, huh? Can we?
Can't you just let people enjoy loving a guy for being white? Okay. Can't you just let me enjoy liking this guy because he's the whitest guy? Or let me guess. Oh, great. Kamala wants to make it illegal to be white.
I peed my pants again. Can I get some new pants? Yeah, now.
Yeah, now. So good.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to put a pin in it for today, I think. Unless you have anything else.
Is today Wednesday or Thursday?
Today is Wednesday, May 6th.
Hell yeah. In college, we called this Wine Wednesday. And then if you drank on Wine Wednesday, like everyone goes out on Thursday at my college, right? It's like you don't.
Thirsty Thursdays, yeah.
You could pack it in on a Friday, but I lived in a frat house, so it's like there's a huge party where I live every Friday, so it was hard to avoid until I got a girlfriend who had an off-campus apartment. But yeah, buddy, if you drink on a Wednesday, it's like, all right, well now like anything you had to get done this week is gone. And you're just gonna have to wait till Monday or Tuesday of next week because you're about to be fucked up 5 days in a row. And I lived like that for years and got through it and made good grades. I don't know how. Yeah, and I never had any money, and I was able to get so drunk all the time. You do that math. And I wasn't a thief.
No, I wasn't going to say you were a thief.
I wasn't a thief. I was surrounded by rich guys who really liked me, so they would just feed me alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty cool. I wish I had that now, without the alcohol. But rich guys got me treats all the time for being funny.
Rich guys.
I thought that was going to be my whole life.
It could be with chocolate, maybe.
I thought that would be my life. It's just I make rich guys laugh and they give me stuff. And it was for a long time, but now I'm in the real world. And I'm not so sure I like it out here, buddy.
Well, folks, if you're a rich guy who likes our podcast and you'd like to send me or Jake $1,000 a day, you can get in touch with us. But if
just
not,
do something nice for us. Like we both work hard. I have a family. Like I'm broke. I don't know about you. I'm not going to speak for you. But like, I
have 2 beautiful cats.
I think you can consider me a broke guy right now. And like, yeah, if you want to buy me a treat, that would be really nice. I'm a good intentioned, like good natured, playful soul. And I have like genuine and intense gratitude for every little nice thing that people do for me. And so just keep that in mind.
for fellow man. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. So rich guys, get in touch with us. Otherwise, we'll see you next week, folks. Love you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.